All right. All right, this is your man, Sir-Earl. His Royal Badness coming at you again. Another podcast kicking off today. Today is Friday, February the 28th. I'm recording today because we just have a busy weekend. Next weekend, we're going to, actually Tuesday, we leave to go to Columbus, Ohio for Chie to compete in the Arnold Schwarzenegger Class A. It's really been prepping, and I'll probably record my podcast from down there. But today we have a lot of things over the weekend that we have to get done, so I'm going to record the podcast and post it today. So therefore, I remain consistent. We've been getting a lot of requests from different countries. I've been sending out different things to them, t-shirts, hats, tank tops. This week, we're asking one of our biggest drawers that has the most downloads. Anyone within the state of Illinois, my home state, we're going to send out two. So I'm looking for two emails. Send them to It's My World, no spaces in between, ITS, MIWORLD, It's My World 1 podcast at gmail.com. Send me the email. Let me know which episode you listened to, what did you like about it, and what did you get from it, and I'll send you out a free gift. Once again, that's ITSMIWORLD. It's My World, the number 1. No spaces in between. I was telling people to use it was a comma in there, but don't use the comma because it's not in the email. So ITSMIWORLD, the number 1 at gmail.com. Send me an email if you're from Illinois, my home state, and let me know, that you heard the podcast, what you liked about it, which one it was, and I'll send you out a free It's My World gift, probably, sweatshirt, t-shirt, hat, whatever. You put your preference down of what you want. So that's what we're going to do. I also join me on my other platforms. Earl Bell, Sir-Earl Bell on Facebook, Sir-Earl's World on Twitter, Sir-Earl 1. If you're trying to go to LinkedIn or Instagram, I have a It's My World 1 podcast Instagram, a Sir Camelot Distribution Instagram. So I can be reached on any of those. Generally, I post the different address on the site, so you can go in there and you can find it. Usually it's Earl Bell, Sir-Earl Bell, Sir-Earl 1 is usually will get you to any of my social media platforms, Snapchat, anything like that. So once again, join me on those. Let me know you heard it on the podcast. Other than that, I want to accept me as a friend. And we'll continue to inspire and change the world one podcast at a time. I'm trying to display messages that help people not only from the physical standpoint but the mental standpoint, because physical fades. We're not going to look like we were when we were 21. I don't want to look like I did when I was 21. But mentally, the society can definitely use some help. So I just try to pass along some of the things and techniques and stuff that I've learned that will help us with more of a positive mindset and achieve more goals and different things like that. And that will segue right into what I will be discussing on this podcast today, and that is fears and excuses. Anytime, you will always notice, okay, what's the goal and the dream, and what's the obstacle that's stopping it. So anything that you say, you will first notice this, and notice how you talk. You'll first notice this in your conversation, even to yourself. I want to lose weight, but I want to go back to school, but I want to own my own business, but I want to, get this job, but that but indicates that you are definitely going into making an excuse why you can't. any reasoning that you come up with for why you can't go after what it is you say you want. Now, this is not something I said you want or something someone else wants for you, which should never be the case. You got to want it for yourself. But your talk sets up the way your mind would think, positive or negative. So if you come with an indicator, like I said, I've been a personal trainer for a long time, so excuses are rampant in the physical realm of why people can't get in shape. Well, I really want to get in shape, but I don't have time to cook. I really would like to get in shape, but my schedule is so hectic I can't get to the gym. I really want to get in shape, but the kids, I'm busy and I got to cook 2 separate meals if I do that. The bottom line is, if you have a goal and you have a dream and you have something that you want to obtain, there can't be buts, there can't be excuses, there can't be things that will sidetrack you or limit you from achieving those things. It just can't happen. Start to notice your talk. That's the simplest way that you will start to notice when you're speaking in negative terms. You will state a goal, and then you will state the reason why you can't achieve it. Well, when you start to, I don't know what people's higher power is. People call them different things. For me, I call mine God and Jesus Christ. So for that example, I'll use this. I'm not trying to offend anybody or their religion or they got to believe in this or whatever. I just don't want to sit here and have to go, if Buddha, Allah, all these people, I don't want to name all those things. So for me, I have a deep, deep belief in God. I believe that every higher power was put here, and I'm not here to tell anybody what they should believe in. I am for sure that we were put here to achieve something in life. Everything in us, they say in every seed, in every oak tree seed, there's an oak tree. So we have within us, it is placed within us in our birth to achieve great things, and what that thing might be is different to different people. But you can never live your full potential if you're making up excuses of why you can't elevate to your fullest potential. And what that is that when you meet that person or that higher source that you look up to, it's going to be looked upon as a failure because, I have this firm belief, and I heard one motivational speaking. It says that when you go to heaven, and like I said, people call it what they want to call it. When you transcend on, your power is going to show you what they had planned for you. And my goal in life is that when that occasion happens, I want to be twins. I want to have lived the picture in which my power that be placed the greatness in me. I want to be able to live up to that. I don't want to get there and this higher beings, if that's what you believe in or whatever you believe in, and it says, I wanted you to cure cancer. I put that dream in you. I wanted you to complete school. I wanted you to own a business. I wanted you to do this, and this is what you did. You sat back making excuses. You never lived up to what it was I put in you. We are all here on this earth for a reason, and that reason is not to work your ass off, get a check, pay bills, and die. That is not the reason we were placed here. We were placed to, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, to make other people's lives greater. I mean, I came from a terrible, terrible situation, abusive father, single household, raised in the worst part of the city, in jail by the time I was 12, a father by the time I was 14, no high school, no college, and I was told my whole life by people that you would expect to encourage you, I was told you'll never be nothing. There's no way you can own and run a business and you have no education. Well, I've been self-employed for 30 years. I've had my business for 22 of those years. Before that, I was running other people's gyms. And that's another thing. As a parent, we need to understand our kids, they mimic what we do, not what we say. One of the greatest disappointments to me was that as I was coming up, I was told by my mother I can always be something special. I was taught to not have fear. I was taught to go after your dreams. I was taught all those things. But yet, fast forward to this life, all those things that she preached to me, she's living the exact opposite. And this is a person with a PhD that has no confidence within themselves that they can achieve something greater. And if you don't believe you can do it, trust me, you can't do it. I believe there's not much that I can't do. Do people who have a lot of confidence in themselves, which is few, you can say you do, but if you're not pursuing something greater than what you're living, you're lying to yourself, okay? God didn't put us here to work, pay bills, and die. He didn't. It was not meant for that. Do they have fear? Of course they have fear. I have a bigger fear not to than I have a fear to do, and that makes the difference. If something comes my way, a dream that's so large and scary, am I afraid? Of course I am. You're venturing into the unknown, but you have to develop a sense of faith. And these dreams were put in your head by your higher power for a reason. If they're going to give you that dream, then they're going to make a way for you to get there. So instead of fear, you have to have faith. So is that fear present? Yes, but you have to do it anyway. When I first opened up my studio, my personal training studio, almost 23 years ago, it was unheard of to be a personal trainer. So when I started telling people that this is what I was going to do, family, friends, other people in the industry, it was met with, are you crazy? I mean, why would you do that? No one's going to support that. You're going to go out of business. And now, fast forward 20 plus years later, everybody wants to be a personal trainer. It is the most common thing on this earth to hire a trainer. Everybody want to hire a trainer or be a trainer, sometimes both. 20-something years ago, I saw that, but the rest of the world didn't see that. So I learned a long time ago as a child to follow my heart, follow my instincts, follow my dreams. I have things that I work on now. This podcast is one of them. When I started this, no one gave me any hope of it, but now we are very, very successful. We're downloaded in 15 countries in 20 different states. And would I ever would have thought that, I've only been doing this for about a year, would have thought that? No, I would not have. If you would have asked me a year ago, do I feel I'm going to have this many listeners and this many people following you, I would have told you got to be out your freaking mind. It's just not going to happen. But my power, my higher power that gave me this vision and this dream, and it gave me these experiences to talk about and relate to people, and it gave me a voice outside of ratio 1-to-1, which is just, 50, 60, 70 people. I can now reach a lot more people, and the plan is to reach a lot more than I already do. And my plan was never to make a ton of money off a podcast. I don't want to turn this into one big advertisement. I want to reach, impact, and change people's lives. And I've done that as a trainer over the last 30 years. And now I continue to do that with my social media and my podcast. I can reach a lot more. God doesn't give you the ability to reach a lot more if you have nothing to say. If you got dumb shit to talk about, you're not going to have that ability to have the information within you that help change people's lives. I am convinced that somewhere somebody has listened to something I said, and it's one of my things as a motivational speaker. They have heard it somewhere and it's helped change their lives. How do I know? I used to speak to troubled youth, and I've ran into a lot of them that said, hey, listening to you, now I went back to school. Now I started my own business. Now I did. So I know it works. I know having a voice, even though it's raspy, I don't like my voice, but having a message that people, everyday people can relate to. They need someone to say, hey, look, you know what? Don't give up on your dream. Pursue your dream. Believe it's going to come true. I grew up in an environment, in a neighborhood where there was no hope. Everybody, 98% of the people in the neighborhood that I grew up in are dead or in prison. And so that 98% growing up there only gave me a 2% chance to even get out alive, let alone live a life of owning your own business, being a top bodybuilder, being a motivational speaker, being a podcast host, doing all those things. I mean, that's why when I do motivational speaking, my seminar is called Against the Odds, because if I only had a 2% chance to live from there, what are my odds now of doing what I do? 0.1%. So if I can do it at 0.1%, and I can talk to somebody that has not traveled the road that I traveled, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's the message that I try to portray. But what it is that we now live in a very negative society that makes us believe we're nothing, we can't do anything, and we can't achieve anything, and that's just not true. And I'm living proof of that. So, what I try to do is I try to inspire, I try to motivate, I try to help people change their lives. And I do that through my voice, my experiences, and my ability to reach people. So with that, walk the walk, because your kids look at it, and you can't tell them not to smoke, but every other day you're smoking a damn cigarette. They're not going to listen to what you say. They're going to watch what you do. And when they watch what you do, that's what they're going to mimic. So what I try to become in my life is this great success. So my son or my kids, they look at me and say, you know what? If he's a success and he had all these obstacles against him, I can be a success too. I don't have to follow the status quo. I don't have to do what society says I should do. I can do what my heart says I should do, and I'm going to be okay. So that's my message for this podcast. So until next week, it's your man, Sir-Earl, signing out. Peace.